Once upon a time, a man and his wife lived in a village. They were longing for a child, but were not fortunate to have one. The woman hoped that God was about to grant her desire. They had a little window at the back of their house from which a splendid garden could be seen, which was full of beautiful flowers and herbs. It was, however, surrounded by a high wall, and no one dared to go into it because it belonged to a witch who had great power. Everybody feared and hated the witch. One day, the woman saw a very beautiful bunch of flowers in the garden. They were so beautiful that she wanted to have them. She used to stand near the window and look at the flowers for hours. Gradually, she forgot to eat and became thinner, weak, and unhealthy. Her husband saw her misery and was worried. He asked her what happened to her. The woman said that she wanted to eat some of the flowers or else she will die. The husband was very worried. In the evening, when it was darker, he climbed up the wall and brought some flowers home. The wife cooked the flowers and ate them. They were so tasty, she absolutely loved it. The next day, she wanted more and cried at her husband to bring some more flowers. The husband again climbed the wall and plucked a few flowers, but the witch showed up.
"How dare you?" the witch said. "You came to my garden, life, a thief, to steal my flowers. You must suffer."
The husband was trembling in fear. He told the witch everything about his poor wife's health. He said,
"Please have mercy and borrow me some flowers. I can do whatever you ask for."
"I will give you flowers, but you have to promise me that you will give me the child you will have after eating this."
The husband had no choice, and he agreed. The wife ate the flowers, and after due time, she gave birth to a girl. The witch named the baby Rapunzel and took her into the deep forest, where she locked her up in a tower. The tower didn't have staircases, nor did it have any doors. Rapunzel grew up to be a beautiful young woman with very long golden hair. When the witch wanted to go into the tower, she would stand below and shout,
"Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair for me."
Then Rapunzel would throw down her braided tresses, and the witch would climb up using it. One day, the prince got lost in the forest and roamed around when he heard a beautiful voice singing. He followed the voice and reached near the tower. It was Rapunzel singing in her solitude. The king's son wanted to climb up and meet the girl who was singing in such a sweet voice, but he found no way in. After some time, his soldiers found him, and the prince had to go back to the palace. But the prince was so enchanted by the sweet voice that he came to the forest again to listen to Rapunzel. He kept going there and waited in the bushes, listening to Rapunzel sing. After a few days, he saw the witch come and shout,
"Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair for me,"
and climb up. The next day, the prince stood below the tower and shouted,
"Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair for me."
The braided golden hair came down, and the prince went up with it. But when he stepped inside, Rapunzel was afraid because she hadn't seen a man before. The prince tried to calm her down and told his story. Rapunzel realized that he is a good person, and they became friends. The prince would come daily, and they spent all day together and eventually fell in love. Rapunzel started weaving a ladder for their escape, which took days. One day, by mistake, Rapunzel told the witch, "You're a little heavier than my prince." The witch was angry.
"I brought you up," she said, "and you conspired behind my back, you spoiled brat."
Saying this, the witch cut Rapunzel's beautiful long tresses. Then she took Rapunzel to a desert and left her in a hut. The prince again came to the tower and shouted Rapunzel's name. The witch used the braided hair to lure him in. The prince saw the witch and thought she had killed Rapunzel. He grieved in utter heartbreak and jumped from the tower. The witch created a bush of thorns where the prince fell, causing him to lose his eyes. The prince kept roaming blind through the jungle for months. He ate only berries and didn't sleep. He kept walking far and reached the desert. Soon he heard a voice. It was Rapunzel singing in sorrow, longing for her lost love. The prince followed the voice and called Rapunzel. Rapunzel came out and recognized the prince and embraced him when the prince fell down. Rapunzel kept crying and her tears fell on the prince's eyes and his eyes were cured. Now he could see Rapunzel like he did before. They were happy to have each other back, and then they left for the palace to live happily ever after.